Hello, I am just checking whether or not we are actually live. It would appear that we are. I'm just waiting for the information to merge across to YouTube. Yay, we're live. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Sunday afternoon, and this is another Sunday Reset. You've just got me today, unfortunately, because my lovely other half, Rufus, is... Oh, there we go. He is away at the moment with family, doing the family things, sorting through wardrobes and things and helping his dad out. And then he'll be going to see his mum. He's probably actually... I'm looking up here for a clock that isn't there. But he's probably, as I'm filming this, he's probably already popped over to see her. So yay. So yeah, everything is good with him. Don't worry about anything in terms of, you know, if he's poorly or anything. He's absolutely fan-dabby-dozy. It's he's just obviously doing the dutiful son routine. Anyway, let me just pop little Lego me and him back onto the microphone. I might leave that... Shall I leave it in shot a little bit so you can see? So, you know, there's always a little Rufus in shot. Does that make sense? Good afternoon, everyone. I have got my eye patch. I'm trying to not use it as much because I'm getting quite used to just shutting my eye. But I might need to put it on because if I have to open my eye, it's not looking very good at the moment. It's very red and bloodied, so it's not looking very attractive at all, let's put it that way. Before I cover up my t-shirt design with the microphone, I am wearing a white t-shirt and it has a dark navy blue design on it which just says Camp Crystal Lake, established 1935, and then it's got a picture of a tent and some sort of pine trees, like just a very loose outline drawing, and then underneath that it says counsellor. So I am a Camp Crystal Lake counsellor today. If you know, you know. It is from the film franchise Friday the 13th, because of course 2 days ago was Friday the 13th. How was yours? How was your Friday the 13th? We had to get the car MOT'd. No, we didn't. We had to get the car serviced, because Rufus had a dodgy doodah, there was a dodgy noise in the back of the car. So let me just reset this chat thing on screen, and I'll bring the chat, I'll reshape the chat box, because as always it likes putting these borderlines around it and I can't stand those. So there we go. First of all, is that taking that away? Yes, it has. Shen London, hi Lisa and everyone. Hi Shen, hi Ed. Hello, Ed says hello all. Lisa Temlet, hi my darling, hi all. Curious Holland, I'm sure no one minds what your eye looks like. Also hello and a wave. Hello my darling. Hello Dormouse, hi Lisa and all in chat. I completely missed it being Friday the 13th. We had to get the car as I say, serviced. So it was £225 for the service or whatever it was. And then it needed the bearing on the back wheel, needed realigning or something. And it was another 500 and something on top of that. So Friday the 13th was a very expensive day, a very, very expensive day. Luckily, Rufus is a lot better with money than I am. So it wasn't too much of an issue. If it had been down to me, the car would be on buy my, what is it, WeBuyAnyCar.com. Beep, 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 beep. Audrey's here. Hello Audrey. Hello Lisa and everyone. Currently sorting black and navy diamond painting gems that got mixed up on Friday. Wow, that was definitely a Friday the 13th. It was an unlucky one for you, Holland. A project you had been working on for months got sabotaged by a manager. That is truly, 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 truly awful. That's really bad. Wow, what happened? You probably can't say. Don't say what happened in the live chat. But oh my gosh, that is awful. I am sorry. Sounds ridiculous. I am sorry for your loss of your project. Wow, that is bad. Cars are expensive. They are, Dormouse. Dorma says, ouch, cars are expensive. Ours are sat in the dry for the week. Ours, well, he obviously needed it. So because he's been backwards and forwards, down south, I'm going to put this over. Let me just put my patch over my lens, because that way I can open my eye and not show you a face that would be not out of place in a Friday the 13th film. I'm not quite saying I've got Friday 3rd Jason, but it's pretty much Friday the 13th part 3 Jason sort of look. Yeah. Yeah, because he needs the car. Obviously, the last time he was doing, basically what he said to me the other week, right, is a whole, grab your coffee, by the way, what are you drinking? It is your hydration reminder. I don't know whether that played or not, probably didn't. But let me know what you're drinking. I have a coffee, surprise, surprise. I have a little bit of salted caramel syrup. It is very delicious, I will say that. So yeah, this week we were in the car and he said, can you hear that? And I was like, what am I supposed to hear? And he went, can you hear that noise? It's like something's rubbing or there's a whirring noise. And I was like, no. Can you hear this? No. And I went, all I can hear is the engine. And he's going, oh, okay. I don't think at the front, there's something at the back. And I'm like, is there? So anyway, a couple of days later, we're driving somewhere and he goes, oh, can you hear this now? And I'm going, oh, I don't know what I'm listening out for. Anyway, after about 4 days of every time we were in the car, he's going, can you hear it now? Look, he's doing it now. And I was like, and one time he goes, can you hear this? It's like a whirring noise. You can hear it. No, I don't think it's the front. I think it's the back. And it's doing it. And I went, shut up. I can't. I'm trying to listen. All I can hear is you. That straining noise, by the way, is me attempting to listen. I'm going, no, can't hear anything. One day on the Thursday, it was like, I'm booking it in. So on the Thursday, we were going somewhere and he was like, can you hear that now? And I was like, oh, I can hear something. Is that what you were talking about? And he's like, yes. Oh, okay. Just the slightest change in a sound. And apparently it only happens when he was going over 40 miles an hour. So obviously when he's driving backwards and forwards on the motorways, he can hear it a lot. He was very aware of it. When you're just tootling around town, like, you don't generally go to 40 miles an hour. We've got a bit in Leeds where you head towards Leeds city centre. You've got the ring road, or the inner ring, outer ring. I don't know what it is. This is going to really annoy me, this patch today. Maybe I do need to put it under. I don't like putting it under the glasses. Right, hang on a second. It means I've got to tighten this up and then it gets too tight and I end up with a headache. So anyway, yeah, so we were driving into Leeds. I can't remember what for. I can't remember what we were doing, but we were going somewhere for something. And we were on the it's like a dual carriageway bit that takes you round so you can avoid the sort of loop on the city centre. And I was like, oh no, I can hear that now. And he said, oh, well, it's been doing that before. And I said, no, I don't think it has. I don't think it has. I think it's just like when you go to a certain speed. Anyway, it was the bearings. So yeah, very expensive. Ed the Ethelready. No, Ethelready the Unready. Ethelred the Unready Ed. My God, I can't speak today. Missed the delivery guy by minutes, so I had to drive to the depot to collect it after Charlie Cat's jabs at the vets. Oof. As a side note, I prepaid the vet and I'd forgotten. So that was a nice surprise. Yeah, they're not cheap, are they, vets? That would have been a good surprise. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They're not cheap, the vets. Mr. Cat update. Mr. Felix is doing fantastic. He slept right up by my face all night. Because I was sort of sprawled across the bed. But then I was so cold last night. I'm so used to Rufus being in bed. And normally I wake up and I'm like, God, it's really hot. I'm really warm. Last night I was like, I'm bloody freezing. Because I'm so used to having like a nice warm body next to me. That sounded wrong, but you know what I mean? A warm human that's alive, not just a body. So yeah, so I was so cold. I woke up this morning and Mr. Felix was literally here next to me. And normally he sleeps sort of down the end of the bed, either in between my legs or in between, because I normally sleep to my side with my knees sort of together. I've got a cushion for my knees because of the fibro. If they knock, it bloody hurts. And I have my legs sort of one lower leg pointed one way and one lower leg sort of curled up. The top one normally curls up towards my bum. Anyway, that's just a really comfy position. And he sleeps in the little nook in there between the two of them. So yes, and I woke up and he was next to me, and I was like, "Oh, hello. What are you doing?" You know, when you wake up and you're not expecting it, and suddenly there's a blob, and I'm going, and because I woke up with both eyes, so eye update. The bottom of this eye, right at the very bottom, is now a black gelatinous globule. So my left eye, right at the very bottom, everything else I can't see at all. It's just completely blurred. The way I described it to Rufus, it's like looking through a sheet of tracing paper. Like, I can make out that there is a bluish blob and a white lightish blob, and I think that orangey blob there is probably a light because it's very bright. But apart from that, I couldn't tell you what those blobs are or what they correlate to. So anyway, I woke up, and with my left eye, all I can see is the sort of bottom of my vision. At the bottom is like this floating dark globule of whatever it is, and then above that is a black and white blob. Hang on, who's ringing me? Oh, it's the husband. Hello, Rufus. You are live on the YouTubes. Would you like to say hello? Oh, okay. I was gonna. Would you like to say hello to everybody on the YouTube? Say hello. There you go. That is the Rufus. You're right. Say again. Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. That's lovely. Are you all right? Oh, is she? Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's good. It's good that she liked the Lindor balls then. All right. Well, I'll let you go because I'm on a live stream. All right, my darling. All right then. All right. Say goodbye, Rufus. Bye, everyone. There we go. He says bye bye, his fans. All right. Love you soon. Love you a bit. Love you to bits. I'll ring you soon. That's what I was trying to say. All right. Love you. All right. You will do. Bye bye. Bless him. He didn't realise what the time was. He's just been to see mum. I don't know whether you heard all of that, but yeah, he's just been to see mum. What was I saying? What was I saying? I can't remember what I was saying. So anyway, yeah, I woke up. The white and black blob that was just here, as my right eye opened, I was like, oh my God. And his face was literally here, like 3 inches away from my nose. And I was like, oh, hello, Mr. Felix. Hello. I think it was his way of saying, get up, mum. I want my breakfast. I want to eat now, please. So yeah, so that's what my morning was like. So yay. Not very good at the moment at all. Not very good with stuff, if that makes sense. I just couldn't sleep properly at all last night, but still on plan. I did have a couple of snack bags last night. So I had a bag of what were they, hot waffle things. I don't know what they are. 3.5 cents for the bag. It's like they're like Wotsits, but in a different shape. And then I had a bag of prawn cocktail Wotsits, which I don't think I like. It took me eating the whole bag for me to go, no, I don't think I like those. I don't think I'm going to have another bag of those. So yeah, that was my, oh my God, Rufus is away. I'm so stressed. And that was my off-plan moment, even though it wasn't off-plan. I think tonight I might have a bag of popcorn, because there's some little bags, 3.5 or four sim swip bags of popcorn. I've been busy though. I've been doing some animation-y bits on with the Legos. I don't know whether you can see here, but I've got do you want to see something really cool? So this, hang on, I'll take, oh no, oh gosh, hang on. There we go. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, everything's going wrong. Good job I've got my glasses on. I just poked my eye with the microphone stand. That would have been good, wouldn't it? Everything's gone wrong. Right, never mind. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. We're live. It's all fine. So I've got this lovely sightseeing bus, right? And I think I've shown it before. It's from Brickhampton. As you can see, it's got a little Brickhampton thing on the back. I don't know whether you can see its destination. It says Losers Club on the front, on the little thingy. It's driven by the ever so lovely Kimberly from Kimberly Down South Look. And then we've got the Slimland crew are all on the bus now. So on the ground level, we've got Debbie from Debbie's World sat in the front there in her purple top. We've got, you can probably see it clear on that side, look, through the windows. We've got Luke for Luke John. There's Byron, there's Leanne, and there's Shell. So everyone on the bottom are folks that haven't uploaded very recently, so they're still uploading. I think they're all still doing the YouTube, but they haven't uploaded for a little while, so they're on the bottom. And then on the top layer of the bus, we have at the front, of course, who else? Oh, hang on. We've got the lovely Jane Day, the Empress herself, on the top row of the bus. So how am I going to show you this? There you go, look. On the top with Jane's figure. Normally, Joe would stand just next to her because there's only limited seats on this particular type of bus. Are you gonna get in there, Lego Joe? There we go. So Joe's there, look. That's her son. He helps her a lot with a lot of the filming and stuff. And then we've got Laura and Kath from Back to Basics there on the top row of the bus. And then you've got a lovely ginger beardy man. That would be my husband then. And then you've got me at the back. And what I've just added in, so these are all the currently uploading, have recently watched their videos type people. And then we are officially welcoming L, the Geeky Slimmer, to Slimland. So he showed a minifig on his channel, but also on the Facebook group, and I've recreated it. So we've got a very similar face print that we found at the Lego shop. That's where we were going on Thursday. So we've got that one, and I've put him in a little walking outfit. Because if you know, our Geeky Slimmer at the moment is doing so many miles a day walking for the Stroke Association, because he had a stroke when he was, I think he said it was when he was 16 or 14 or 16. And then he had another one a few years later. So he's dealing with all of the consequences from that. So I've put him in a little backpack, a little hiking outfit, and he... just dropping everything on the floor. He is currently the new member, the latest member of the Slimland crew. And oh gosh, this bus is not particularly well made. They could have, I think I'm going to need to adapt it. But anyway, he's also now standing on the top deck. There you go. Next to Joe, right alongside Jane, because he is the latest one to join the Slimland bus. So there you go. That is everything. I've really enjoyed doing that as well, I've got to say. That is something I've put together, and I've animated it. And so there is a little thing that will go up on the channel and over on the Facebook page as well. But that's the Slimland bus. And at the front, the destination changes. Oh gosh, it's come apart again. Never mind. I'll fix it in a minute. Will you just let me put the Losers Club back on, please? Oh no, it's not letting me do anything. Oh, I've broken it big time. Right, I'll have to fix that afterwards. Never mind. So there you go. That is it is going to the Losers Club, but I've just broken it. So yes, anyway, there you go. That is the Slimland Sightseers bus. This is the Lego City Tour bus, if anybody wants to build one. It's very, very, very cool. Very cool build. Really, really was a lot of fun. And it comes with, I think, 3 or 4 minifigures as well. A little a pushchair and a baby and a mum and all sorts of people. But we've got it for the Slimlanders. So that's everybody who's officially been brought into Slimland, which is the Lego version of a slimming group, similar to Slimming World. And then I also because I've got a backlog just here, as you can see behind me. I've got just behind, where is it? Just behind here, just there, look, behind here where that bag is, I've got a backlog of Lego sets that I'm slowly building. I've got the, hang on, bring your arm round, Lisa, there you go. This here is the Practical Magic house. And I've got the Creel house from Stranger Things there. And I've got two other houses just behind here as well to build, and a coffee shop. The coffee shop is going to be Luke's Cafe. That's what I've decided. And Laura and Kath, because if you watch their videos, back to basics, if you watch their videos, they have lots and lots of cats that they are supporting and looking after. Well, now in Brickhampton, which is the little Lego town that I'm slowly building, we have this, which is a pet bookstore. Don't ask me. I don't think these exist in real life. It's like a cat cafe, but for books. So the lore, as in L-O-R-E, of Brickhampton, is that Kath and Laura own this building, and it is a pet bookstore with other items, because if you watch Back to Basics, they often sell things on Vinted and eBay and things that they pick up at boot sales and various other places. So they are eBay resellers. Well, what I've done is I've slightly altered it, and now in here we've got all sorts of, there's books and things on the tables, there's a little white kitten up here playing, there's on this side we've got a little grey kitten and a ginger cat, and there's a little grey cat just down here as well. Food bowls, a litter tray, there's all sorts going on. So I'm making it a little cat rescue stroke bookstore stroke nicky nacky shop. And the idea of, in the lore of Brickhampton, is that they were looking after so many cats that to fund it all, they opened up their own little small business in Brickhampton, and it would have been an old ... whatever building that they've taken over and turned into a pet bookstore. So that is what is happening with Laura and Kath's characters, their Slimland Brickhampton version of them. And I was amazed. I was really pleased with that. Really happy with that. A few alterations from the build. It's not a Lego one, it's an off-brand Lego. But yay, I was like, oh, it's so cool. Leanne from the Fat Lass Story, she's going to have her own barbershop. I think Byron, because Byron is very well known on his channel for not just being for the vegan loser, for being vegan, but also he's very well known for his lovely cat who gets all the attention. I think he's going to be a pet groomer in the Brickhampton lore. Jane and Joe is going to be one of the personal fitness trainers at the Brickhampton gym. The gym is called Fix It. It's the Fix It gym. Yep. And Joe is going to do, as I say, he's a personal trainer there, apart from doing whatever else he will do in the lore. I think I'm going to make Jane a teacher, because that seems to fit quite happily with her lore. Luke runs the cafe, which is actually a coffee shop that's currently sat there waiting to be built. What else? Who else was I? Obviously, Kimberly down south is our local bus driver, because that's her job. I think Debbie from Debbie's World, I think she might, because she does a lot of dog walking and things, I don't know whether I'm going to have her be like part of the vet team. I'm not entirely certain. And Shell, I've got a funny feeling that Shell is going to work at the town hall when I eventually get around to building that. Just because it's the sort of thing I could see Shell doing. Shell is from Bean Feast 57. We do have a little dormouse, which will be appearing in lots of places all over. So yay, there. So that's who we've got in currently. It will completely be updated and change as we go along. But yeah, there's lots of... I have been enjoying building the lore of Brickhampton at the moment. It's been busy. I've got the town crest. I know which of the characters is related to the old mayor. All sorts of history on the city. My brain is very much in storytelling mode, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. Anyway, let's have a look in the chat. I've ignored the chat because I wasn't on that screen, to be honest. Dormouse, I got walloped paying for 10 days cattery for your daughter's cats. Awesome cattery, but ouch. Wow, that sounds expensive. Ed, for the whole thingy, which was 2 lots of jabs and a checkup, was £76. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Good afternoon, everyone, says Neil. Good evening, Neil. Good afternoon, Neil. Sorry, evening. You took Esther to the vet for her jabs this week as well. Oh, bless you. Holland, your vet has a scheme where you pay monthly and get boosters, flea, worm, treatments, 1 consultation a year, and discounts on stuff you buy included. That sounds really good. And microchipping if you need it. Dormouse, laugh out loud. All husbands checking in. Grumpy says hello from a beautiful hot Malta. Good afternoon, Grumpy. Good evening, good morning, whatever. We're not jealous at all. Deborah Fleming says aye. Thank you for that. Necroneal, that's good, Holland. Sounds manageable. We have insurance. I've learned the hard way with uninsured cats in the past. Yes, this is it. This is it. We're looking into that with Mr. Felix at the moment. And we're currently desperately trying not to take on next door's 2. We can't because there isn't room, and it wouldn't be fair to anyone, to them, us, the dogs, anything. But she asked us, do you know anyone that wants cats? Because I didn't finish the sentence, but Rufus and I both know the end of the sentence would be, don't want them anymore, which is truly awful and truly wicked. It really is. I think that's an awful thing. But she doesn't really want to rehome them either. She can't be bothered. And we were like, well, ring what is it, CAT, which is a cat's charity up here in the north. Ring Cats Protection, ring all these places. There will be places that will take them. She's got 2, I guess they're tuxedo cats, but they're sort of just black and white cats rather than a tuxedo cat. And they're very cute. The boy has an issue where he gets a lot of pyphoria from his eyes constantly, so his eyes look weepy and congested, and she doesn't treat them. And the other day it was super cold, and I thought that Princess, who is the female, Prince is the boy, I thought Princess was outside. Now our Mr. Felix and her get on really well, so like he often brings her around for dinner. Literally, he will come in and then he'll meow at the door to be let in, so we let him in, and then in trots Princess behind him, and then he looks at us and looks at her, and he's basically going, Frida, I've told her she can come for tea. So we feed Prince and Princess most days, 3 times a day, but twice a day a lot of the time, but at least once a day we'll feed them, because she doesn't. She gave them some prawns. That was their dinner yesterday. Half a pot of God knows how old prawns that she just put outside. It wasn't even in a feeding thing. It was just in the packet that the prawns come in. Anyway, so it was really cold the other day, and I opened the door. Felix was in, and I opened the door to put something in the bin, and bitterly cold, see your breath cold, like wouldn't be surprised if it snowed cold. And what I thought was Princess came running up to me, so I picked her up and went, are you cold? And I brought her in. Turns out it was him, not her, because again, not got great eyesight at the moment. If it had been Princess, she could have stayed in overnight. She would have either sat in the kitchen quite happily, or she could have come in the bedroom. We have treated the 2 cats for fleas. We've given them some flea powder because again, she doesn't believe in all of that. So we've given them, so if they had brought anything in, we would have dealt with it, but don't think they would have had anything, even though they were quite mucky. But it turns out it was him. So because of that, Felix and him they barely acknowledge each other. And then they're like, Okay, well, I'm not going to fight you, but I kind of want to fight you. Do you know what I mean? Um, so unfortunately, neither of the two boys would settle. So I popped him back outside, gave him another tray of food, and put a cardigan. They've got like a little cubby hole outside that they put. There's actually, to be fair, there is actually a bed in it now. There never used to be, but I put an old cardigan in there, just to give him a bit more warmth. Princess wasn't anywhere, so I think she's opened the door, let her in, and not him. And when I say in, they go into the porch and the cupboard under the stairs, you know, like Harry Potter lived in a cupboard. Did he? I don't know if he lived there after the first film, but in the first film, the Smiths, the is it a foster family that have got him or something? Who's got Harry Potter? Is it an uncle, an aunt, foster? I think it's an aunt and uncle. Don't remember. Again, only seen the first couple of films. Not interested. Anyway, the cats live in the cupboard under the stairs. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. No windows, no airflow, no nothing. We have rung the R.S.P.C.A. I'm going to ring them again tomorrow and just go, look, these cats are not being looked after. But if we could take Princess on, we would, but it's just too many. Just too many, unfortunately. But yeah. But anyway, all of that to say that this is why I was saying to Rufus, we need to get insurance, because we've got no idea. We don't know how old Prince and Princess are. We don't know what ailments they might have of, you know, being neglected for so many years. We don't know kind of what the situation is health wise. And because we don't know any of that, it will be a massive gamble, you know, and I could see it being in a year's time or whatever that Princess could get very, very poorly and would be landed with a hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds vet bill. So yeah. Anyway, you have insurance as well? Yeah, we need to get insurance for Doodah, for Mr. Felix. Turned out to be a bloody good thing with Rupert, but they still only covered about half of what we paid. Jesus. Because Charlie Cat is a rescue, you managed to get him done, microchipped and jabbed with the help of Cat's Protection. I had to pay a tenner towards it 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, we had that, Ed, with Felix, because again, we weren't keeping Mr. Felix. Absolutely no way were we getting a cat. Absolutely 100% not. We've got dogs. No way were we keeping a cat. Just not, no way, no how. We were going to take him in over the winter, get him over his cat flu when he was really, really poorly, and then we were going to find him a new home. Yeah, that never happened. He found his home here with us. So yeah, but the we got a voucher thing from the RSPCA, and that covered the vets, although there was a massive fight. The vet, our vet that we've got the dogs with, had a massive fight with them to get the treatment done. They did not want to do it at all. They really did not want to do it, because, and we were even going to, what's the other place, PDSA, and they didn't want to do it because they said, if you come to us, then the vet doesn't have to do the treatment, but if you've gone to the vet first, they should do it. And our vet was like, nope, not without a voucher. And I was like, this is ridiculous. RSPCA are telling me to go back to the vets. The vet at the time, it was a different one than the one we normally deal with the doggos, but the vet said, no, we're not going to treat him because it isn't an emergency. And I was like, this is, bearing in mind, I think it was November time, and I was like, no, the cat is is incredibly ill, is sneezing, is coughing, looks like he isn't going to make it, so I've picked him up and brought him into our house. He has no microchip that we can tell, no, because you know, we'd already the vet had already scanned for that, but no microchip. He's very poorly. He isn't ours. He's just a neighbourhood cat that we've been helping to feed. What? Anyway, it got sorted, and now we've got him. So yay. They do great work. The cats do that. They do. They are, the Cats Protection and RSPCA, and all of those are amazing. When you adopted Esther, she came fully prepped, spayed, chipped, treated, etc. The shelter didn't adopt any animals without all that done. That's good. Ed, you think you blagged a bit of it at the time. Both Charlie Cat and Annie Pup are insured. That's good. The bus, oh, thank you. Rufus isn't here because Rufus is down south looking at his looking after mum, basically. Well, no, he's going to see mum and he's helping to clear the house of years worth of, neither of them are dead, so it's not like a, it's just helping his dad, because his dad is 82 this year, I think. And there's just like built-in wardrobes full of clothes that were his mum's, of all different sizes, a lot with tags on, never worn. Shoes, we donated 27 brand new pairs of shoes, mostly with tags and everything on, to St Gemma's Hospice. Some of them were very old, and so we had to throw a few away. Some of them were relatively new. When I say relatively new, it had been bought relatively recently. Some of them had been bought a while ago. So anything from 10 years old, where we had to double check the soles, make sure they were good, all the way up to, you know, some Skechers that were bought a couple of years ago. But because she is now in the nursing home and wears slippers a lot of the time, she isn't in need of multiple pairs of shoes. She's got a few pairs of shoes with her. She doesn't need like 30 odd pairs of brand new shoes. But yeah, so he's gone down, he's helping clear out cupboards that haven't been cleared out in a little while, generally just to help with the upkeep of their house, really, and see his dad, make sure his dad's okay, and pop and see his mum for Mother's Day. So I've got mum a card, and I won't now. The plan was I was going up to Lidl. I forgot today is Sunday. I was supposed to do it this morning, and then I thought to myself, oh, I'll go after the live. Yeah, well, I can't do that because Lidl is shut at 4, so I won't be able to get some flowers. I'll have to get them tomorrow. She won't mind. For those who don't know, my mum is in an urn in the cupboard because she passed away 10 years ago. So, but every birthday and every Mother's Day, I get her a silly card and put it next to the urn and just wish her a Mother's Day that way. So yeah. Angela Brown, hello everyone. Hope all okay. Happy Mother's Day. Yes, happy Mother's Day to you if you are celebrating Mother's Day, by the way. I know it's different in other parts of the world, so happy Mother's Day to you. And if you are technically not a mother, but you are playing the part of a mother, then happy Mother's Day to you. If you are a parent, regardless of gender, happy Parents' Day. If you don't identify as a mother, but it is, otherwise it would be your special day. And if you are looking after children, but you are actually a grandparent, an auntie, an uncle, a caregiver, a foster parent, whatever it is, if you are looking after kids, then happy Looking After Kids Day to you. There's a lot of people that take on the parenting role that don't fit into the standard definition of mother or father. But if you are taking on that role, whether it be for your siblings, your, other people's children, whoever they may be, whether they're related to you or not, then happy Parents' Day. Yeah. You've been fighting a chest cold infection the last couple of weeks, Neil. Oh gosh, that's awful. It's on its way out now, but it's taking its time. I look forward to not coughing myself into migraines. Oh my God, that's awful. That is awful. There've been some awful cold bugs about this winter, Neil. It has. I keep meaning to message people at the moment, but I'm really struggling with my eye, to be honest. Now Rufus isn't here, I can be a bit more honest with it, because I'm really a little bit scared, to be brutally honest, because I don't like how it's leaving me at the moment. Very, very much more wibbly, very, very much more in need of help, which I don't like being in, vulnerable, which I don't like feeling. And I keep insisting to Rufus, it's fine, I can do that. I'll make a coffee, I'll put the washing in, I'll do this, I'll make dinner, because he is trying to look after me. And it's like, no, you also have health concerns. You are not able to give all your spoons to me. And normally the reason we work so well is because it's almost like we do one day on, one day off each, where he'll work like an Egypt all day doing household bits because I'll be having a bad day, and then that will wear all his spoons out. And then the next day, because I've rested the day before, the next day my spoons have recharged, and then his will be out of whack, so he won't be able to do so much, or be in more pain, or have his back cramp or his neck, whatever. Anyway, and I'll have the spoon, so I'll be able to do more. But of course, when I'm out of action and cannot do my usual bits, even though I don't do a lot, I can't do my usual bits, it means that he's having to do everything, and I know it exhausts him. And then especially now where he's gone down south and doing looking after the parental units, and doing all of that support and just driving for hours. But yeah, so whenever he's here, I'm always like, no, I can do that. I'm fine. And he's like, you're not fine. I'm fine. I'm insisting I'm fine. Therefore, that is what I'm putting into the world, that I'm absolutely fine. I'm manifesting the fact of my fineness. But yeah, reality is the not knowing where things are three-dimensionally and having to reach out and kind of swipe the air before I can work out where things actually are. It's really beginning to grate on me. I've just done it then. I don't know whether you heard me go, because I went to pick up my coffee cup, and actually the coffee cup was maybe 2 inches further back than I thought it was. So the handle I didn't pick up. I actually just grazed the front of the coffee cup. Anyway, Code Deb, hello. I'm off to Florida tomorrow on my rescheduled trip. Have a lovely time. February 21st, I could barely walk 200 yards. A non-scale victory. Have a lovely, lovely time. You love the tongue-in-cheek gym name. I know. I'm getting doodahs done for it as well. What's it called? Signs. I know. You can fix it at this gym, whatever your problem is. It had to be a dodgy name. Do you know what I mean? It's me. Yeah, likewise, Holland. I hope Neil's back to normal soon as well. I really do. Dormouse says, poor wee cats. I know, right? Deborah says, hello, everyone. What's happening? We're just chatting, Deborah. Karen Duar says, afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Karen. Jane, the lovely Jane, has your address details, and I think she said that your book will be posted out tomorrow or Tuesday. So yeah, that should be with you shortly. Audrey, it was his aunt and uncle. Was that Harry Potter? Yes. You forgot it was Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day for you, my dear Dormouse. Happy Mother's Day for you. Happy Mother's Day to you, Audrey, to you as well, Audrey, my darling. Have a lovely Mother's Day. I hope you are at least looking after yourself. We are resetting today, so if it's been a bit of a crap day, this is not your sign to eat all the chocolate or buy a load of chocolate to eat. This is your sign to stick to plan, because you can do it if you just stick to it. Remember that. This week with Grumpy Away has given you lots to think about of how life would need to change when he's no longer here. That's saying he goes first. Yes, absolutely. If I need help with stuff, just let you know. I can't. Ed, I can't. This is the thing. This is the thing. This is the thing. It's impossible to let anyone know. I don't even let him know if I'm... Do you know what it is? I'm not struggling. It's just annoying me that the things I want to be able to do, I can't. And if this is something, hopefully this repairs itself before too long. Yeah, so hopefully that's what will happen. It'll be grand. If it doesn't, for whatever reason, then I will adjust. It's just at the moment, it's in that I can't start making adjustments to things if this is my new way of life, because this might not be my new way of life. Do you know what I mean? In fact, this should not be my new way of life. So yeah, it's in that limbo period again, which you've known me for years, Ed. You know I do not like my limbo. I do not like being in that sort of grey zone of no man's land. It's not comfortable for me. So I am practicing lots of mindfulness, lots of patience. I am learning to be one with the universe, if that makes sense. I'm learning to just accept it. This is my sign to maybe accept that as I age, there will be more health concerns. There will be more things I have to deal with. I've got a cystoscopy booked for, I think, next week, to check if the cancer's still gone, or what's happening with the bladder. So that'll be interesting. See if there's been any return. Last time it took 4 years for the cancer to come back, but because it did come back, chances are that it will probably come back again now. If it's come back once, it will be a recurring thing. So that'll be something that we'll find out about in a couple of weeks. So yeah, that's annoying. I've got a dermatology appointment coming up to look at after the biopsies that they took off my head. I've got the ophthalmology appointment tomorrow afternoon to do an eye checkup. Which Rufus was like, oh, I'll be there for that. And I was like, no, you're not. No, you've got too much to do. Just loading the car full of stuff tomorrow. There is no way you are going to, like, I don't want you getting up at the crack of dawn to drive up like an idiot to get here, to get me to the hospital for 11 o'clock. It's like, no, I will go on my own. If I have to get a bus, I'll get a bus. If I have to get a taxi, rather, I'll get a taxi. It doesn't matter. I will go off on my appointment, get my eye looked at, get the results, and then I will let you know. And then he can drive up in the afternoon or evening at leisure. Then he's not fighting through traffic, because that was the other thing. It's like, no, I don't want you fighting the traffic. That is bonkers. So yeah, so I'm just kind of at that point now where it's like, I want to get this room sorted. I've seen loads of lovely bits online of people with Lego cities and Lego towns, and I want all of that here. I want to start building Brickhampton now, but I've just got to be patient. There's loads of bits just behind here. There's a whole cupboard that I need to clear out, and or at least box up and put in the shed. I just need to let things happen when they happen, which is part of, I think that should be today's reset, really. Let things happen when they happen. That will be today's reset lesson, because as much as I am just squeaked back into the 7 Stone Award, right? Just squeaked back onto it. I am not in a rush. I've got, and I know I said on Wednesday that with £18 to go till my first target, the target that I'd initially set, and I want to lose a bit more than that now, that actually I could do that by my birthday. I probably can. Whether I will or not, I mean, I could very easily do it before my birthday, but whether I will or not is a whole other thing, and I'm not in a rush. And it's like, to be honest with you, I am slowly beginning to see myself in the shape that I actually am now. Even though as I'm looking at myself on camera, I think I'm looking quite wide at the moment. But I am in smaller sizes. I have lost 7 stone. I am doing great. And I've got to just allow myself to let things happen in the time that it takes, and not to get all upset if things don't happen immediately. Does that make sense? Because I don't want to lose a whole bunch of weight and then regain it because I've yo-yoed. That's not my plan. I don't want to lose a whole bunch of weight but not deal with the underlying issues of, you know, lack of confidence, self-esteem and all of that that kept me fat for so many years. That isn't what I want to be doing. So I have to allow time for my body, my psyche, my soul to adjust on this journey. And I think that's the same for all of us. I think to some extent, losing weight is the easy part, right? We all know how we lose weight. You eat less than you need. You eat super healthy, nutritious food. You fill up on all of that. You fill your tummy with all of the nutritious, healthy food that you possibly can, and you stay away from all the mass-produced toxic crap that they try and sell us in bright, sparkly packaging. Dead easy. Absolutely dead easy. Stay away from the mass-produced. Stay on the healthy nutrition, and you will lose massive, huge amounts of weight. Absolutely. The difficult part It's getting your head round it and changing the thought patterns of why we got there in the first place. And I think sometimes that can take an awful lot longer. I know both me and Rufus talk about the fact that we are on plan for life. Me and Jane, whenever we chat or message or call each other, we call ourselves lifers, and we're going to do something with that. I think Jane Day, the Empress, by the way, good afternoon, ma'am, if you're watching, Your Imperial Majesty. We genuflect in your general direction. But we call ourselves lifers. We are the lifers here, because this isn't something I intend like, oh, I've got to Target, now I'm going to go off and buy a Greggs. No, because I don't want that food. I don't want beige food. I don't want to go back to unhealthy ways of thinking. This is my change for life. I don't want processed food in my life. Don't get me wrong, a tin of peas is processed, minimally processed, but it's processed. A what's it called? A beetroot burger from Lidl is processed. I am not anti-processed food. I just want to remove all of the crap that I was eating. So things are minimally processed, or things that are, a joint of beef is processed. You know what I mean? A chicken, unless you go to a farm with a meat cleaver, your food is processed, no matter what it is. The most organic carrot in the world is processed because somebody has had to dig it up and chop the bits off, wash it, put it in some packaging and deliver it to you, or put it on a truck in a box, in a crate, and drive that to the market store where they are selling it. Do you know what I mean? Unless you are going to a farm shop or grow your own, everything is processed. But for me, what I'm trying to do is to put those things in place for the next 30, 40, 50 years, however long I've got, where we do the processing of the food. So, we buy the raw ingredients and make things ourselves. Last night I had the chili that Rufus had made with a lot of brown rice. Rice was cooked at home, processed obviously, but then cooked at home. The chili was made at home. All of the ingredients were minimally processed, and but that was really delicious. Tonight I've got the curry in a hurry recipe that Rufus made with chickpeas. He had that last night. I had the chili last night, so I've got the curry tonight. Again, it's processed, but it's processed at home. And I think for me, because this journey has become, certainly since January of this year, where we were talking about, last year was all about the weight loss, this year it's about weight loss, where we document our health, well-being and weight loss journey, right? The well-being is a mental thing. The health is everything else. All of that comes together and starts from that foundation of what we put into our bodies. So we have been, having our daily vitamins and our daily collagen and all of that to help from the inside. We have been fueling ourselves with much better foods, and that I want to maintain forever. But that adjustment, you've got to give it time. And this reset, like the thing that, the biggest change since we gave up Slimming World Weekly and went to an online only, and bearing in mind we don't do a lot of the online meetings and things, maybe I will do a couple today because I know they do some on a Sunday. The biggest change that we found since giving up the weekly, going to groups, sitting on the scales in front of teacher, the thing that we found the most is that we are not in any way, shape or form stressed about getting on the scales. Now our weekly weigh-in is maintenance. Where are we on our journey? It literally is, when you're in the car and you're going on a long journey down, like say again, going down south, or you're going across Europe or whatever you're doing, and your journey is, let's say you're driving 400 miles, right? So from the north to the south of England, you're driving 400 miles, you're not in a race, you're pootling along at 50 miles an hour on the slow lane of the motorway, quite happily driving in a way that is going to conserve a little bit of fuel, but also isn't going to be stressful. You're not in a race. You're not, you know, trying to get round tankers or anything else. You're quite happily tootling along in the relatively slow lane, right? Happily driving. Occasionally you have a little pit stop where you pull in, you grab a coffee, you have a little, you know, you pull in and you stop there and you go, oh, I'm just going to wait for a little bit, have a coffee, go for a wee, and then get back on the motorway, right? When you look at those exit 13, exit 47, right, you see those. That exit ramp on the M34791, whatever the motorways are, that exit ramp just tells you, right, I'm getting off at exit ramp 64. And I'm currently on exit 3. All those other exit ramps tell me is that I've got from exit ramp 3, where we got on the motorway, to, you know, exit ramp or whatever they're called in the UK, that, you know, oh, I'm now at 41. Okay, so I'm about 2/3 of the way to my journey. That is how weighing should feel. For me, for so long, it felt like a judgment. There was all this stress and pressure. Have you lost weight this week? Have you lost weight this week? Oh, have you followed the plan entirely and yet you've gained weight? Oh, well, Lisa, you must be doing something wrong. That was said to me so many times by a previous consultant. There must be something you're doing wrong. You're not working the plan correctly. So if I'm doing something wrong, that's a judgment. If I'm not doing something correctly, that's a judgment. The fact that 90% of my weight issues when I've been on plan have been to health reasons and were a side effect of my diabetes and my long-term diabetes, and the issues that had caused, and was nothing to do with the food I was putting in my mouth. The fact that all of that was happening, and yet I kept getting told, you're not doing things correctly, you're not working the plan right, there's something you're doing wrong, that gets inside your head a little bit. And taking that stress away, that is something that now feels so much better to me. And I think I really don't think Slimming World are helping its members when there is this, are you doing this right? Are you working the plan correctly? Are you working the plan? It's like we've all got to work the plan as individuals. And as long as you are actively working your plan, right? And again, I'm going to talk about Slimming World rather than Weight Watchers or calorie counting, but those things also work, right? If you want to keep to a 1400 calorie a day diet, or whatever it is, diet with a small d, if you want to stick to 1400 calories a day, you will probably lose weight. Most people will. And if you want to work out your macros and your nutrients and all of that malarkey along the route, then great, well done you. You know if you've gone over those calories. In the same way, if you're on Slimming World and you went out for 2 meals, and each one of those meals, when you counted the swips, would be 200 for one and 70 for another, and you're allowed 15 or you're allotted 15 a day, you know probably when you get on those scales this week or next that you are going to have a gain, because there is no way you can pull that back. You've had more swips or sins than you have for the week. Do you know what I mean? We all know what we do. So it should just be, if you work the plan. Have you worked the plan this week? Have you worked the plan part of the week? Or have you not worked the plan at all? If you've not worked the plan at all, is there a reason? What have you been up to? What's been happening? You know, not, is there an excuse? Because again, and don't get me wrong, our last consultant that we had before we went online, she wasn't the worst consultant in the world by any way, shape or form, and she didn't put a lot of those judgment calls on, but other people in the group and the way that we talk about it ourselves has been very judgmental in the past, and it has been you know, if you do it properly, if you do it correctly. Whereas actually, do you know what? The thing I'm really recognizing is that for me, this is a life, it's a weight management journey now. And as I learn to manage my weight and learn to deal with the emotional issues that created the weight in the first place, I also have to learn to be a bit patient, and that things will happen in its own time. Joe's son, Joe, who is Joe's son, Joe, Jane's son, Joe, who I think has absolutely inherited his mum's wisdom. Joe says that if you stick to your plan, if you work your plan, whatever that plan is, the weight loss will follow you. It will chase you. And I think that's true, but we've got to actually, we've got to do it. We've actually got to, and there's no point. Oh, look at me on my soapbox. I'm on my soapbox. See what happens when Rufus isn't here on a Sunday? I get on my Sunday soapbox. There's no point lying to ourselves, is there? And saying, I've worked the plan 100% this week, when you know you snuck out for that Mars bar or that chippy, or, you know, you had, I don't know, somebody was in the office, they were having a birthday and they brought little cakes. So you had a couple of little cakes. It isn't, you're not cheating anyone but yourself. And if you don't want to lose weight, if you're not ready to lose weight, then why are you even going to Slimming World or Weight Watchers or spending on Manjaro, whatever it is? We watch so many various channels, a lot of them we've unsubscribed to these days, but we watch so many channels of people trying to lose weight that are just not ready to lose weight. They haven't got a valid why, or they think they want to lose weight but they don't want to put the work in, or they want to lose weight but carry on eating takeaways and junk food and, you know, stopping at McDonald's on the way home because it's been a stressful day or whatever it is. Bear with, hang on. Sorry, hopefully that muted. I don't know whether it did or not. Let me know if that muted or if you could hear me slurping. Hopefully you couldn't hear me. I muted it on the mic, so it should theoretically have muted. There's nothing worse than mouth sounds. But yeah, if you're like, there were times in the past when we've done Slimming World and we've done it very differently. We thought we were doing the right thing, but blatantly we were not ready to do this forever. We thought of it as a temporary fix, but we didn't gain weight as a temporary thing. We didn't gain weight in a few weeks. We gained weight over a period of years. And you've got to look at losing weight in the same time scale. It's not something that I think, like, anyway, don't get me wrong, you can lose weight dead quick. If you've got to lose weight dead quick, you can do it really simply. Really, really simply. It's very simple. Massive restrictive diet, cabbage soup diet, 6 weeks cabbage soup diet, 12 weeks cabbage soup diet. You'll be bored senseless. Your body will go into all sorts of attack modes, basically, because you're not getting any of the nutrients you need. Long term, it would end up being very, very poorly for you. But in the short term, in 3 months, you will drop a ton of weight. Will you gain all that back and more? Probably, the minute you start eating normally. So it's not the losing weight, it's the changing our mindset and dealing with all of those underlying issues and being ready. That's the big thing, being ready. And I think for us, we're ready now. We're ready to, you know, minimize the health issues that we already have, which aren't going to get any better. Rufus was talking to me the other day, and we were talking about his neck surgery. And he was saying that he was really hopeful that when he had his vertebrae discs, whatever it was, when he had that fusion surgery done and they put the they put the metal scaffolding thing into his neck, They fused the two plates that they did all the work anyway, and they put that metal cage in. He was really hopeful that it would stop the issues he's got in his back. It would stop the pain, the grating, the cramps, all of the problems that he gets that make him unable to sleep most nights. He was really hopeful that the surgery, when the surgery healed, he wouldn't experience that anymore. And that isn't what's happened. Unfortunately, it hasn't got any worse, but it's not got any better. The grinding has gone. That sound that he was hearing in the back of his head has gone, because the vertebrae, the discs, whatever it is, they're not grinding on each other now. So the cage is keeping those bits separated. So whatever it was, the bone on bone grinding has now gone, but everything else is still there. And we were saying it's a bit like going through what I'm now going through with all the diabetes related issues, in that, great, for the last year my sugar levels have been great. They did my sugar on the day they did the surgery on Monday. It was 6.5 on a mid I say mid-morning, it wasn't, was it? It was about 8 o'clock when they took my sugar. 6.5, which is smack bang in the normal range. Perfect. I'd had a banana, I'd had a coffee, so I wasn't in starvation mode, but it was perfect. Absolutely where it should be. My blood sugars have only been there for the last, what are we in now? This is March. So the last 15 months. That's all. For the last 30 years prior to that, my blood sugars have been all over the place. In my younger years, it's because when I was working in pubs and clubs, I was drinking. So alcohol screws up your blood sugar like a lot. It really does. It messes up your blood sugar because it's chronic. It causes all sorts of physical effects that you don't really. I wasn't an alcoholic, but I worked in the pub club trade. Therefore, I run pubs. I've been an entertainer. I've been a DJ. You name it. I've done it over the course of several lifetimes. And yeah, so I would drink on a regular basis and go out on a weekend or midweek, depending on who was running what my job was. And so, you know, alcohol was a steady part of my life, as was kebabs and pizzas and chocolate and sugar and crap food and everything else. So 30 years of eating, drinking and living that way, and then probably 8 years of on and off Slimming World, trying to work it but failing, and only 1 year of being 100% in control of my blood sugars. That is not enough time to undo all of those years of damage. And so I'm still getting all of the effects of not living this way for 30 years. Do you know what I mean? And I've got to deal with that. And, you know, I've still got foot issues. I've got a podiatry appointment this week coming, I think, maybe next week. I have orthotic shoes. I have, you know, all of these issues, the eye bleed, lots of other bits and pieces happening. None of that is repairable in a year. It might be in 10 years or 20 years, but it's not repairable in a year. And it's the same with our weight loss. Both of us, yeah, okay, we've got the weight loss off. Great, well done. But all of those underlying health problems that we've caused are going to take years to repair, if it's even possible. And the same in terms of post-COVID. Like, both of us are dealing with massive changes since COVID. Because, you know, for those that don't know, Buford and I got COVID in the March of 2020, before it was called COVID, before it was it didn't have a name, didn't have anything. It was just this bug that seems to have come from Italy. we didn't get any treatment or any support because the NHS had no knowledge then. And it was just, oh, because you've not just come back from Italy, we don't think it is this Italian bug. Just, you know, rest up and you'll be fine. And it just don't go to your doctors. Turns out it was COVID, absolutely 100%. And we were very, very poorly. Rufus ended up, because of his asthma, it went all on his lungs. He was in hospital a couple of times, once on the acute respiratory ward. Very, very scary times, very scary times. I don't think he realizes quite how poorly he was at one point. Yeah, very scary times. And anyway, the after effects of COVID for both of us have triggered all sorts of other health conditions that may or may not have triggered anyway. But it's like COVID went in and went, okay, all of these things that you might have had, we'll make them all possible now. If, right, nerd, oh, 2 bits of nerdism here, right? I'm going full geek mode. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the last couple of episodes, spoiler if you haven't seen a 30-year-old TV show, but the last couple of episodes of season 7, they have the ability to make, oh, or was it all of season 7? No, it was the last couple of episodes. They find the ability to make anybody who could be a Slayer, basically. So in every generation a Slayer is born. Well, there's all these potentials that if the Slayer dies, these other potentials get woken up, right? So Willow and the mystical angels and all of that malarkey, they do a big thing, and everybody who was a Slayer or could have been a Slayer becomes a Slayer. COVID did that to us. Any physical complaint that is in our genetics that we could have, just switch those on. Just let them run their course. So yeah, so, you know, losing weight isn't going to fix any of that. And it's the same for all of you. You might not have had the same, might not be the same cause, but losing weight isn't going to overnight. It's not going to make you happier. It's not going to make you find the love of your life if you're single. It's not going to fix your financial problems. It's not going to fix your anything. It's just going to make you a lighter version of where you are now. It's a bit like when we used to run trans support groups, I would say to people, what happens after surgery? Because once you've had surgery, great. You will no longer have a chest, or you'll have a innie instead of an outie, or whatever it is, or vice versa, or, you know, whatever people wanted. What happens then? If you focus everything on one particular achievement, what happens afterwards? You need to put things in place to work towards after those key events. And this is the same way. I understand now why Jane doesn't want to fit a target, doesn't want to set a target, because once you hit that target, where do you go from there? Where do we go from here? It's a Buffy thing. Oh, that was the other bit of Buffy news. Bloody Hulu, it is owned by Disney, Hulu have decided not to pick up the Buffy reboot. I'm gutted. I'm really gutted. I didn't realise how much I was looking forward to, what was it called? Buffy New Sunnydale or something like that. I didn't realise how much I was looking forward to it until Sarah Michelle Gellar popped up on a video and went, unfortunately, Hulu have decided not to move forward after the pilot. I'm like, no, I really wanted that. I really wanted Buffy to come back. But yeah, anyway, so for the reset part of today, I was going to do a bit out of the mindfulness book. I think I'm going to leave that till next week. But for resetting, I think we've just got to remember that you don't change who you are overnight, right? That doesn't happen. But also, more importantly than that, you don't what was I going to say? Hang on a second. Sorry, I'm just having to reset the button, because there we go. We don't change who we are overnight, right? At all. It takes years. Long-term change takes absolutely years. It always has and always will do. But it takes being ready. And there is that quote, isn't there, about a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. And I do think that's very valid, but you've got to be ready to start that journey. And that is the same whether you are starting a new course, starting a new life, starting, you know, you've got to be ready to take that on. And in terms of weight loss and health in general, quite often we think it would be a nice idea if. It would be nice if I was lighter. It would be nice if I could do X, Y, Z. Is that enough? Is that a solid enough why for you to commit to something? And if it's not, that's also okay, you know. If you're wanting to drop some weight for a wedding or for a summer holiday, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to be a lifer. But if you're doing it because you do want to have a healthier life and look after yourself and live a happier middle age, old age, whatever, then you've got to commit. And that does mean giving up a whole lot of stuff. But I think it also means having to learn and give yourself lots and lots of time to adjust and learn what it means to be a slimmer you. Rufus always says that people talk to him far differently now than they used to. He says he has people coming up to him when, you know, especially when he's back down south and he's got his southern accent in it. People will talk to him and chat to him, and like when he's in the supermarket, people will ask him where something is or whatever. You know what I mean? Just general little chit chat. And when he was bigger, they didn't. People avoided him, and it's the same with me. People avoid me anyway because I'm, you know, very obviously a 6'2" trans woman, and there's a very obvious otherness about me. But with Rufus, it's something that he said he's only just beginning to get used to, which is that feeling of kind of being this is going to sound, I'll have to explain it, being one of us, not one of them in the eyes of everybody else. Do you know what I mean? And that in the eyes of everyone else is that when you see people in the street, there are some people that are obviously other, right? And lots of things can make you other. It could be your body type. It could be a disability. If you're in a wheelchair, my God, you are instantly othered because people will talk to the person pushing the chair, if there is one, rather than talk to the person in the chair. And I had that with mum all the time. When mum was in a wheelchair and we'd nip into town or just do a bit of shopping or whatever, they'd be like, oh, what size does she need? Oh, what, you know, what, does she want a hot drink? Oh, you've ordered coffee and you've ordered a coffee for your mum. Did she take sweetener? Ask her. Ask her. She's right in front of you. Ask her. And mum would be like, yes, please. And I'd also like some semi-skim milk or whatever it would be. I used to get so angry at that. Because anybody who is othered is instantly dismissible because you're not one of us, whichever person is in their perceived us. Do you know what I mean? And again, normally it's people that are average bodied, average build, average whatever, but it also changes, doesn't it? God, I'm on a rant. It also changes because I think if you are somebody who, if you go to a middle class, middle age, typical English church every Sunday, your us is going to be very different to the people that go to the who at 11 a.m. on a Sunday are beginning to crawl home from the post Saturday clubs. Do you know all the clubs that go on? They go into the wee hours and through until sort of 10, 11 o'clock when they kick out. And there used to be lots of those. There used to be one in Leeds called Stinky's Peep House. Amazing club. But you would just, you know what I mean? It's different. It's a different us. Everyone's community, everyone's little clan or tribe is a different us. And I think when we are morbidly obese, like me and Rufus were, we stand out like a sore thumb. We're very obviously very, very, very different type of people. Does that make sense? We're very much a them. And then as we lost weight, the reason for us being other kind of went away in certainly in his case. In my case, I'm othered because I'm, you know, tall and broad. But it's fascinating, that process. It really, really is. And I think for a lot of us, that journey has to happen internally as much as it happens externally to other people. Do you know what I mean? We have to learn, oh, I can shop in the normal clothes section, not in the plus size section, or I don't have to buy a size 32 where there's two options. I mean, like a dress size 32 where there's two options. I can now buy a size 24, which I can get in Georgia Asda and in Tesco, or, you know, whatever shops. Or I'm now in a size 18 or a 16 or whatever it is that's right for you, or size 10. Whatever it is, making those adjustments, it really takes a long, long time. It's the same thing. We're both realizing that neither of us knows when our body is full, when our tummy is full. Never had that experience before. And it takes a long time of trying to listen to our bodies, trying to pay attention to know what feeling satiated, is that the right word? Satiated, satiated, to know what that feels like, because we've not had that before. And that is something that is really new to us. And that's something that, again, is part of this weight loss for life mentality that we both have now. We are absolutely looking at joining the gym. It's all been delayed because of my eye, because at the moment any pressure, any how can I put it nicely, trying to squeeze a poo feels like my eye's going to pop out. Picking something up, and you know, you go ooh, and you're struggling to pick up that bag of shopping or whatever it is, and you go ooh, that quite often, that effort can make my eye feel like my eye's going to pop. Which is the weirdest, it's really weird to say, but it's also the weirdest feeling. It really, really is. But yeah, it's eventually we'll join the gym. To look back, I did think at the beginning of this journey, you know, in October 2024, when we were both like, do you know what? We're going to go back to filming on the channel. We're going to do some more filming. We're going to go back to Slimming World. We're going to, you know, not reinvent the wheel, obviously. That's not what I was trying to say, Lisa. We're going to recommit, that's the word, to doing all the things, doing the videos, doing the filming, documenting the journey. We're absolutely, this has got to be the last time we do this, because it has to. I honestly thought if I'd lost, by the time I'd lost 7 stone, I'd be feeling so much better. And the Slimming World consultants used to say that. Oh, you've lost 5 stone. I bet you feel so much better. And I'd always be like, no. Am I supposed to? I don't feel any worse, but I don't feel any better. Like, I'm not magically cured of all the health issues that I've had just because I dropped 5 stone. I don't know if that's part of the training, to be honest with you. I'm going to, hold on. I just take a swig of my coffee. I don't know if that's part of the training or not, because it, I don't know many people that feel 10 times better if they've had if they've been overweight for a series of years, that just because, oh, you've lost a certain amount of weight, you must feel better. Do you mean physically, emotionally, health wise? What do you mean? Because emotionally I feel better than I have done. Emotionally I feel more confident. I feel a lot more able to be myself. I have a freedom of clothing options, which allows me to reflect my personality more. I love my quirky tees, my quirky. There's a name for it. What are they called? Where you get the design on the front of a t-shirt. There's a not band tees because that's for bands. What are they called? What are they called? ADHD. Forgetful moment. Do do do. Talk amongst yourselves. Do 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 do. There is a word for them, and it is teas, and I can't remember what is at the beginning of the teas. Er, er. Computer. What is the term for printed t-shirts? She's not gonna know.
Printed t-shirts are often called screen-printed shirts, as the design is applied using a stencil method. They're popular for custom designs and logos, giving
Computer.
a great...
Stop. Oh, what's it called? It's right on the tip of my tongue. Tippy tonguey, tippy tonguey. Oh, Codec. Oh God, I've been ignoring the chat again. Codec, slogan teas. No, there's another one. There's some. It's something else. Let's have a look in the chat. It will come to me. If you know, put it in the chat. Thank you, Ed, but I'm absolutely fine, my friend. This week we had 2 days in the 80s. Next day it snowed. Is the 80s hot? I don't know what that is. Computer, what's 82 degrees Fahrenheit in centigrade?
82 degrees Fahrenheit is about 27.78 degrees
Bloody
Celsius.
hell. 27 degrees Celsius. Jesus, that would be a good sunny summer's day for us here. How do I manage to do the Lego? Very slowly is the answer to that, Audrey. A lot of times the instructions are. Do I have any Lego instructions anywhere here? No. Oh yes, is that an instruction book? Oh, it is. So this is a genuine Lego instruction book. This is for the Dia de los Muertos Day of the Dead display piece that I had for last year's Day of the Dead. So this one on Lego, they're quite big and easy to see, and genuine Lego have them in the actual colors, so you know that you've got this sort of blue piece, this cyan piece, and that is going to be a 1x2 brick with studs on the side, and you know, look, it's going to go here, and this is how it attaches. Dead easy. For non-Lego stuff, the instructions can be more like, you know, this is one from a fountain that I built, more like this, where it's not quite as clear, or they could even be like this. So if they're this size, I really struggle, because my right eye, which is the eye without the eye patch, this eye is my longer distance eye. So the one that's really good for close-ups is the one that I can't see out of. And so the problem is that I will literally have to hold it sort of here and then do that thing where I can kind of go, right, that is a 1 by, and then I have to stop and go 1, 2. Oh, I can't see. And to like try and zoom in just gets blurred. So that's really difficult. With the small instructions, that's really difficult. Luckily, for actual Legos, all of their builds are on their website. And if it's a recent set, like I think in the last 2 or 3 years, then they are, what's it called? Where you can zoom in and zoom out, and you know, like on your phone, they're 3D, so you can sort of spin it around and turn it upside down and see where things are supposed to be. So that's brilliant. That is so good, because you can literally pick up a piece and you're able to zoom in and see where it is and see what's what, and then go, oh, hang on a second, is that in the right place? It looks the same. And then zoom right in, count the studs, but then also, well, why does that look different to my one? Oh, it's because underneath I put something in the wrong place. Or you can like go, oh, okay, so how does this connect? And you can actually see it in all the different dimensions like this. Whereas some of their older sets are much more like some of the bad designs, the bad instructions from the other company. And then actually finding the pieces can be quite difficult as well, because, you know, I've got a couple of large, fairly flat boxes that I empty all the bits into. Non-Lego, you empty all the parts and then find one in a sea of 300 or 1200 or whatever it might be. In Lego, they come in little bags. That's why Lego is so much more expensive. There's a lot more, the clutch, the connectability is better, the quality is better, the packaging is better, the instruction, everything that is pretty much not to do with the actual build is better. And then the builds themselves are often a lot better as well. Don't get me wrong, things like this little off-brand pet bookstore that I built, the instructions were okay, the build is okay. If it was a Lego one, it would feel a little bit stronger for what I want. For the fact that this was a £30 set instead of a, if it was Lego, it would be at least 90, maybe 120 for a little house. Yeah, a lot different. So yeah, it's the same as then. It's why editing, doing the Choosy Tuesday video last week took me about 9 hours to edit, probably, for that 35, 25, whatever it was, minute video. It took so long to edit because every time I go to move the mouse on the laptop, I'm not in the right place with the 3D thing, because my eyes are, you know, seeing in 3 dimensions is difficult. So that was really hard. Clicking on the little icons on the things to edit was really difficult. Seeing where the channel is, and I've got to move this slider across a little bit to trim that. All of that is so much harder with this one working eye. I actually think if it had been a bleed in my right eye, not my left eye, it would have been easier to edit and do Lego. It would have been a lot harder to exist in terms of walking down the street, seeing things, you know, like tomorrow, getting on a bus and then going to my ophthalmology appointment. That's quite easy. I can do that because I can see what bus is coming down the road. If it had been the bleed in my right eye and my left eye was good, I wouldn't have been able to see the bus until it was like here, at which point you can't stick your arm out and stop it. Or I would have had to stop every single bus and then go, what number are you? Oh, sorry, that's the 59. I don't need that one. Or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It would have been a nightmare. So yeah. No, Holland isn't skiving. Holland was listening to me while doing a bit of housework in between study sessions. Got to have a break here and there. Yeah. How is the study going? That was you with your back. You thought it would get better, then it didn't. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Ed. You don't mind being my taxi. Thank you. But I am getting on the bus tomorrow. That is my plan. Besides which, you saw a little bit on when we went to the Pew Pew Bang Bang jousty place. The I've got a shield and here is a sword. Rah. The oh, what the hell is it called? The place with the things that the place with the things that do the things. The not Natural History Museum, the Royal Armouries. Good Lord. the place with the things that do the things. My brain forgot all the words. That's interesting. The place. The, oh yeah, that's really good. Hi, where are you going? As I'm ordering a taxi, where are you going? I'm going to the place that has the things that do the things. Oh, you mean the Royal Armies? Okay, get in. Oh Jesus. Yeah, very much. Oh, I hope you're okay, Dormouse. You've got a migraine. No, that's horrible. Oh God, my head's just. Don't laugh either, because that's now my eye is now throbbing. Oh, talk about putting pressure on things. Woo, wobbly. Um, you get vegetables delivered, Shy Violet Deborah. Everything has some processing before you get things done. It really does. You don't get stressed about getting on the scales or telling people how much you weigh. That's awesome. Did you used to? Is that a new thing? That's awesome. Your long-term results speak for themselves, says Holland. Thank you, my darling. I am hopeful that the long-term results speak for themselves. I do feel better. Simi World always assume you've not followed the plan if you don't lose every week. They don't look outside the box for other reasons, not anymore, especially at the moment. Holland says, thank you, Karen. Holland says it's perfectly normal while losing weight to have some weeks that you stay the same or even gain a little, so long as you are going in the right direction overall. That's what matters. Exactly, that's where I am, and that's where it's what we do now. Rabina Sahonta, hello Rabina, hello my darling. You didn't hear any slurps, thank you. You cancelled Hulu, Deb. It got too expensive. £30 a month. I've got Disney Plus. I can't remember how much Disney Plus is. It has gone up, I know that. I know I was paying $8.99. I think I'm paying double that now. And it is one of those things I keep looking at each month and going, do I watch enough? We tend to only watch really at the moment. We're trying to watch Wednesday because of Netflix. Because we got Netflix because of the Stranger Things, obviously. So I am trying to watch Wednesday on Netflix and get through that. Quite like it. We're halfway through season 2 at the moment. Love season 1, halfway through season 2. Yeah. Joanna Lumley's just appeared in it, so it's really weird having Billy Piper and Joanna Lumley in it. Joanna Lumley, who played a version of the Doctor from Doctor Who in a charity episode, and Billy Piper, who turned up as a version of the Doctor in the Christmas episode. So yeah, that's very weird having them both in the Addams Family with Catherine Zeta-Jones, who is Welsh, who plays Morticia. It's like, how many British actresses can we import into a series? Absolutely. But yeah, I do like it. I just like watching Billie Piper in almost anything. I think she's a really underrated actress. I do like her. Anyway, so yeah, so we're watching that. Has anyone got any good Disney Plus, and that includes Hulu, and what are the other things it's got on it? Fox, obviously, but that's not a thing anymore. Yeah, all the various channel things on Disney Plus. Any good series or any good things to watch. Also, Amazon Prime. I will always keep Amazon Prime because of the free delivery next day stuff on Amazon. I do pay to not have any adverts, so I should watch more Amazon Prime. But we do like The Boys and that whole universe, so I do need to watch. We've got a season of that to watch when Rufus comes back, and I've got a season, of Invincible to watch. And they did have my Lego City Adventures, which is a kids animated cartoon set in Lego City, and it was brilliant, and I absolutely loved it. There were 4 seasons of it. It's all on YouTube, so I keep rewatching it on YouTube. Typical ADHDer or DHDer, watching one series over and over and over and over and over again. It's now my YouTube algorithm on the channel we've got linked to the telly, which isn't this channel, it's just an account for me and Rufus, that knows 100% that, you know, the way the algorithm works where it's tried to get you to watch the next thing. So if you watch one of our update videos, it will probably link you either to another Slimlander, or another one of ours. It will start playing. It does that with this Lego City Adventures. So before I know it, I will have watched a couple of seasons worth back to back. Normally this is what happens at night time when Rufus goes to bed and he goes on the Xbox for a couple of hours, and I'll be in the lounge chilling. I might be building Legos because at the moment I can't do a lot else. It used to be when I edited, yeah, so I would be editing, and then that would just be on the telly as sort of like background noise, if you like, with the volume down, so I could there were things happening where I could look up and get distracted for a few minutes before I go back to looking at the tiny screen. Not, you know, it's a laptop, but you know what I mean, a relatively bare screen. And it would just play. And now, of course, it plays and plays and plays, and I've seen all the episodes hundreds of times. And to the extent that the other day, I think the same episode, because it links to different channels that all show Lego City Adventures, really good series, because it links to all the various channels. I think I watched the same episode for 3 times with one episode in between each time. It was very funny. I was like, why are they playing this again? Oh, because this is a different channel. Oh, that makes sense. Audrey, you haven't set an overall target. The one you're working towards is to hopefully get considered for new knees. You'll be bionic. You'll be the $6 million woman. No, bionic woman. Yes. New knees. That's a really good target, though. That's an amazing why as well, Audrey. That's an amazing why. That's like, don't want to go blind, thank you very much. Don't want to lose my foot. In terms of whys, having knees that actually work, that are made from space shuttle grade titanium or whatever it is. I don't know what they're made of these days. That's awesome. When you were fatter, you were invisible to most people. It's ridiculous, isn't it, Shy Violet Deborah? It is ridiculous that when we are at our biggest and most obvious, when we are the most morbidly obese that we've ever been, and we take up more space, and we physically generally wear dark colours, because, you know, that makes us feel slim, doesn't? When we take up the most space and are most, you know, visible from outer space, like the Great Wall of China absolutely 100% is, when they're in the spaceship looking down at our big disc of a planet and can see over the edge and see that it's completely flat, obviously, not that it's always on an angle properly like that, but you know what I mean. I'm trying to do a flat earther thing, but it's not working. Anyway, when we're at our biggest, we are also the least visible. Interesting, that, isn't it? When we're hardest to ignore. No, come on, brain. There's a Confucius says quote here. I hope that wasn't racist. There is an old wise quote. An old wise woman once said, quote here, when we are at our big, no, the bigger we are, the easier we are to ignore. The easier we are to see, the easier to ignore. No, that doesn't make any sense. There's something there, isn't there? There's a quote there that would go on a t-shirt. Excuse me. You have a target weight, but it's the heaviest you can be at a healthy BMI. That makes sense. When you lost weight, everyone treated you with more respect. You found it sickening. It is. It absolutely is. One of us. One of us. Goober gabber, one of us. one of us. Your neurospiciness slipped out, Ed. Don't worry, my friend. It is very true. It is very true. Curious too true. Absolutely. Oh gosh, where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Graphic tees. Thank you, Code Deb. Yes, that's it. That's what my brain was forgetting. You're now down to a size 16-14. Well done, everyone. Drink, drink, drink. I don't know whether that plays. Whether it play, I don't know. But yes, have a drink. Statement tees, no, it was very much graphic tees. Hi Janet V7L, how are you, my darling? I hope everybody is okay. Yes, it was graphic tees. The Royal Armouries, yes, I got there eventually. You've been making pom-poms with your granddaughters. Oh, that's so cool. Audrey, at nearly 5 stone down from your heaviest, you don't feel any better for it. You might never, but you know what? If you were still 5 stone heavier, you'd feel a darn sight worse. You would, absolutely. You would feel worse. And this is the thing. The doctors always said to me, lose weight, you'll feel better. No, I don't. No, you lie. Lose weight and I'll feel about the same, but I won't feel the worse effects, the worserer. I won't feel any gooder, but I won't feel any worserer than I would have, if that makes sense. I won't feel any worserer to get the weight off. Whereas if I was still 7 stone heavier than I am now, God knows how I would be healing. There's just no, I wouldn't, I don't know how I would feel myself. Do you know what I mean? Treat yourself to a taxi tomorrow, Lisa, or at least on the way home. I might get a taxi on the way home. I quite like buses though. I don't get to ride a bus very often. I know, poor me. I've got a chauffeur. My chauffeur drives me all everywhere I could possibly ever want to go. Oh, poor me. I don't get to ride a bus very often. Oh no, my chauffeur takes me everywhere I could ever wish. Bugger. But no, to be honest, yeah. Anyway, to be honest, I quite like buses. That was the honest bit. I was going to say, yeah, to be honest, I quite like getting on a bus. It's also what I've always done because I don't drive. There was a little gap for a little while where I was planning to drive and taking lessons to drive, and then I didn't, and now I can't. So yeah. Lisa Temlet, you went clothes shopping for a family wedding with your sister yesterday. She kept making off remarks about me now being smaller. What, than her? Nothing like sisterly love. Oh, my mum, right? Mother's Day, bless you, mum. I love you to bits. Miss you, something chronic. My mum took great delight in, as she got older and had some health concerns, which then meant she lost a lot of weight. My mum took great pleasure in being the smallest sister. She was the eldest of 3. She was always the very largest of 3. At one point, my mum was also size 26, 28, and she was down into 14s. And then obviously she got very ill in the last few months and then passed a decade ago. In a decade ago next month, actually. But oh, hang on, I just need to reset. I well, that's an unexpected emotional response. Oh, 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 hang on. I am okay. Let's talk through and experience the emotion in a mindfulness way. So, I am. Oh, I am feeling sad. I am feeling loss. I am feeling a little lonely. Um, and I'm feeling like I'm really missing my mum. And I've been fine up until now. And it's only when I said that next month is the 10-year anniversary of her passing, Okay, I am perfectly fine. I think it's the first time I realised that it's gone from being it's 10 years this year, which is an abstract, to it's 10 years next month. So this time, 10 years ago, Mum was here. We had just moved back into this flat, or I just moved in, Rufus moved back into the flat, and Mum would be preparing the flat right now because Mum would be coming home very soon, a decade ago. There we go. Talk through it. So yeah, my mum took great delight in being the thinnest sister, um, and loved it. Loved it. Would every time that she'd get weighed, and she would make a point of ringing her sisters, my aunts, and saying, "Oh, I've just lost another couple of pounds this week, or this last month, or whatever it was. I'm now this weight." She took great delight in that because it was something that had always been used as a, I guess, a way of putting her down, or families where you just get the snidey remarks, and it's like, oh well, you've always been bigger, haven't you? Or just those sort of comments. It was just the family dynamic was that, Mum was the eldest, but the other two were somehow better than. And one of the ways it was expressed was because of Mum's size, but obviously in her later years that situation reversed, and she loved it. She would smile. She would oh, hang on, I've got to sneeze. Oh, me eye. Oh dear, excuse me. Oh gosh. But yeah, it was she took great delight in being thinner. So yeah, if you have a similar dynamic, Lisa, then again, feel free to display your awards. I am working on, in fact, that's what I'll do today and tomorrow in between building more Legos. I will before Wednesday, I will get the finalized version of the, the new weight loss certificates, the awards, these things that we've got, because I do have a slightly updated version that I'm going to make available on the so these ones, that I'm going to make available on the Facebook group, and I'll put people's names in. So if you've won an award on a Wednesday, if you've got a weight loss milestone, then we'll be able to do that, if that makes sense. Lots of good sci-fi shows on Apple TV. I'm not getting another streamer. We tend to be judged over our size. Oh, we absolutely are, yes. You keep losing me from the frame. YouTube is doing something weird. Oh, I don't know. You think most people don't want to see bigger people because they are scared this could be their own future if they aren't eating healthy. It's possible. Thoughts on EastEnders this week? Haven't seen it. I think also because it's Mother's Sunday, we're all sending you loads. I am absolutely fine. It's all right, my darling. I'm fine. It's been a big thing. I just hadn't quite realised quite when it was, but thank you. Your mum died 11 years ago this month. You understand what it feels like. It's just a lot, isn't it? Normally we're absolutely fine. I am, as I say, her urn's coming out the cupboard today. She's going to sit on the underneath the telly with a card. I would have got her flowers, but I might. Did I pick up the other? No, I didn't pick up the other botanical set. Have I got any? What have I got in the catalogue there? I've got a dog, got a shark, I've got Oh, that's Rufus's bamboo. What would Mum appreciate? Out of me boxes that need building sets, what would Mum appreciate? She would probably quite like the puppy, or oh no 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 no! Oh gosh, disaster! Disaster! The parrot fell over and fell into the bunny. Hang on, everybody. Let me just pick up the Lego bunny because the parrot knocked the bunny over. There we go. And the bunny knocked the sunflower over and dropped its carrot, and also knocked over. There we go. Knocked over. What's her face, Sanderson? Oh no! The bunny's carrot won't stay. No, that looks rude. Where does that go? Shall I put it? There we go. There you go. You can hold your carrot like that, Mr. Rabbit or Mrs. Rabbit, We're Rabbit. I haven't got a botanical type set. I was going to say I'd build some flowers for her, but I haven't got any to build. Oh well, I will. I'll get some flowers tomorrow. She knows that. That's fine. Kimberly down south. Hello all. You're late to the party. Kimberly, you just missed it. I moved the bus. What fell off? Oh gosh, I've broken the parrot flower. I'll have to put that back. I don't know where that goes. Kimberly, look, you're in the bus. You're driving the bus to the Losers Club. Hang on. I'll fix this. Let me fix this because otherwise I will forget to fix it and then it will be a thing. I am glad you're here because I'm that way. I'm not being at all emotional at all. That didn't happen just now. It's all good. It's all grand. All good. All grand. All good and grand. It's just a lot sometimes, isn't it? So yes, Kimberly, you are driving the Losers Club bus. It's our sightseeing bus. It's a sightseeing bus for a reason because we get to stop off at all the various places on our journey of weight loss. Some of us are on the scenic route and some of us are just on it for the long term. And so yes, you are on the bus. You are driving the bus in Brickhampton. There you go. Look, says Losers Club, and off we toddle. As you can see, we've got Alan Geeky Slimmer has joined the bus. It's sponsored by, or it's Slimland is advertising. And on the top of the bus we've got Jane and Joe, Al Geeky Slimmer, we've got Laura and Kath from Back to Basics, Rufus and me, and then on the layer underneath, for those that weren't here earlier, we've then got Kimberly down south driving. We've got Debbie from Debbie's World or Debster's World in there. You can see her there in her purple outfit as she is. You can probably see it better that way. There you go. There's Debbie. We've got Luke John in his chef's hat and chef's whites. We've got Byron the vegan loser. We've got Leanne Fat Last Stories, and we've got Shell from Bean Feast 57. Everybody on the bottom of the bus haven't uploaded in a little while. Everybody on the top of the bus have uploaded recently. So you will get shifted up and down, depending on if people are uploading or not and all of that malarkey, and just because. But that is the Slimland sightseeing bus from Brickhampton. Lovely, 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 lovely. So yes, there you go. I've got a little animated thing. In fact, I could even show you it. Shall I show you it? Let's do the my eye is now, not my eye, my head on this side, where this is, where the strap is, the elasticated bit. Oh, it's making my eye hurt now, making my head hurt, sorry. I can feel it digging in. So I'm going to call time very, very, very soon on the stream. Oh, Jane is here. Hello, Jane. Good afternoon, Empress. Folding laundry and nodding along in agreement with everything you're saying. Oh, thank you, my darling. Good afternoon, everybody, says Jane the Empress, Jane Day the Empress. Her Imperial Majesty, I genuinely reflect in your general direction, Mum. Let me go ahead and send this across to myself. And no, don't send it to Rufus. That's not going to help, is it? You can tell. Does anyone else do that? When you pick up your phone, does your hand automatically go to a specific app or button or tab? Because for me, the minute I open WhatsApp, hubby, which is what he's in my phone as, because like it's in alphabetical order, isn't it? I don't know how to change that. I don't know if you can change that. But it always goes to open the chat to Rufus first, if that makes sense. Even when I'm not sending something to Rufus, it's like whenever I open my phone, my hand automatically opens mine's called YouTube or camera. It always goes to open the YouTube, where the YouTube apps are. Always, because that's obviously what I use most on doing it. So I'll go to look on Facebook and I'll be like, I don't want YouTube. Why have I opened YouTube? Very bizarre. Very, very bizarre. Right, let me entertain you. Let me make you smile. Let me open this. Let me open that. Right, here we go. And bring that all the way back. So let me take that off. Here we go. Look. That one. If I moon dust will follow you. Here we go. Look, if I make this a little bit bigger. This isn't actually Brickhampton. This is an AI generated background. But the bus stop I built. So this is a little 12-second clip. This is Al the Geeky Slimmer, who is on the... Oh, where is it? Lisa, you're not even looking in the right place. There we go. Al the Geeky Slimmer, who is officially joining Slimland. Here we go. Look, it's waiting at the bus stop. Here he is. The bus pulls up. So he then goes and walks to get on the bus. Kimberly opens the door. And then everybody waves. Have a wave, everybody. Say bye. And the bus pulls away. There you go. Al Geeky Slimmer has officially joined Slimland. I'm really glad that I got his minifig sorted. So Al Geeky Slimmer, even though it doesn't say Slimland, but it says it there, look. Yay. Oh, my little animations. I love it so much. And then if I go back to that, there we go, look. Yay. So if you could, oh, hang on. I'm going to play that one more time and I'll describe it like when they do the narration for people who are blind. Here we go. So a Lego minifigure. Oh, hold on, pause. Right, a Lego minifigure wearing a dark blue baseball cap with glasses and a teal green hoodie with a backpack straps visible, orange backpack straps, and a blue pair of trousers. Sits on a wide bus stop seat in what appears to be a Lego city. As a bus, which is a double-decker sightseeing bus, an open-top sightseeing bus, pulls up towards his space. As Alan sees this, he jumps off of the seat and walks towards the open part of the bus stop before realising the bus has pulled up a little way away. The bus stops, its door opens, and Alan climbs up on board. We then see everybody on the top of the bus, who is Jane Day and Joe, Laura and Kath, Rufus and Lisa, and Alan now at the front of the bus, along with Kimberly down south, Debbie's Weld, Luke John, Byron the Vegan Loser, Leanne from The Fat Last Story, and Shell from Bean Feast 57 on the bottom of the bus. All of these people then wave to us as the bus slowly drives off on the left hand side and out of screen, leaving us with a partial view of the Lego city. There you go. Hopefully my plan is, I've just realized that none of you saw you just saw it, but it wasn't on screen when I was describing it. Never mind, you get what I was trying to do. But the plan is, when we do the Brickhampton stories, I'm actually going to voice characters and things, so it's really fun. It will be going on the Facebook page. Yes, it absolutely will be. Bunnies are hopping. They are. Flowers. I haven't got any. You and all your lovelies. Yes, you're in the UK in spirit, Kimberly. Absolutely. And you're driving a double-decker, open top double-decker sightseeing bus. It gets better. You've got 5 sisters and I've always been the biggest, even though growing up you went in between a size 10 to 12. Oh my gosh. As we've gotten older, we've all gained weight, but I will always be referred to as biggest. Wow. Oh, thank you. I'm creative. You love it. It will go on our Facebook page. Yes, you can drive on the left-hand side of the road. You do it all the time. Don't say that. You don't know who might be watching. The school people might be watching. The school board, governors, principal, I guess. I haven't built a school yet in Brickhampton. It's on the list. I have a full list of characters. The Slimlanders from are going to be part of the stories. It's going to exist around the Slimland group, and all of the YouTubers are there and will interact at various times, but the stories aren't necessarily about the YouTubers. We are all sort of secondary characters in Brickhampton, in Slimland. We just appear because we're all real people, and I don't want to make too much you know, I don't want to do stories of real people's lives too much. So your Lego Town variants, your Brickhampton variants, will all be their own individual people, if that makes sense. Are they our pets? Who are your pets? I don't know who you mean. I don't know who you mean. There are pets. Pet school. There's not a pet school, but there is a what's it called? Pet bookstore, which is here. Oh no, what did I just knock off? Oh, the tree, the plant pot. Did I? What just fell? Oh, there it is. Yes, the plant fell. So I do have a pet bookstore, which I showed earlier, which is an off-brand Lego build, which Laura and Kath from Back to Basics will actually have, which I think is a gorgeous little building. Oh, something's come loose. A couple of things have come loose because I'm going to Mills plate it, which is a whole complicated thing. But anyway, so there's a interior. It's basically a cat cafe, but the law is, right, it's a cat cafe, but they weren't able to get a cafe license, so they opened a bookshop instead. And it's kind of part bookshop, part like secondhand knick-knacky antique type store. So this will be a part of Brickhampton in passing, if that makes sense. So characters might pop in and pick up the latest Slimland book or whatever it is that they do. And so it might be that Laura and Kath are late to group one day because something interesting happened in the pet bookstore. There's a little pussy cat up there in the corner there playing, a little kitten. There's another kitten on top of this unit and an orange cute cat in front of the unit, and there's a grey cat there. There's food over there. We've got rugs on the floor, a litter tray down there, and most of the interior is custom. I've redone it all to make it work with the storytelling for Brickhampton. So yeah, there you go. That is a little thing that is going to be part of the storyline. Oh my gosh, I'm breaking it, and the reason I'm breaking it is because it needs to be built on Mills plating, because this is not strong enough for it to be able to be picked up and filmed with. So yeah, that's what's going to happen there. I've got, as I say, I'm going to this week, I'm probably going to move things around behind me to bring the community hall into here so that I can just show it basically. But I've got all sorts of storylines going on in my head, all sorts of characters. It will be a light-hearted, whimsical series, Brickhampton Tales from the Scales, about the characters and happenings at a weekly slimming group. So yeah, hopefully it will be, they're only going to be like 3-minute episodes or something, but should be good. Should be good. So yay. I think I'm going to call it here, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining. Don't forget, this is your reset. So we talked about it, or I talked about it. We just need to be at peace with however long this journey takes, and we need to accept that sometimes we have to reset and restart and keep going. And our mindset has to be that if you want this weight off for the long term, then you have to be prepared to put that commitment in and change those habits from the ground up. We really, really do. And yes, it is more work. Yes, it is more effort. Yes, it is less pleasing, I guess, when we don't have the addictive foods. But that addictive way of eating isn't good for us. And those are the things we need to change if we're going to have long-term health and long-term weight loss. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Rufus should be here for Wednesday. Yes, he will be here for Wednesday for the next couple of weeks. And then there'll be a Wednesday in the beginning of April where he won't be here. So I'll be doing the Losers Club live on my own. But I will be back on... theoretically we'll both be back on Tuesday where we are doing the cooking of the kebab, so the doner kebab. We should be okay for that on Tuesday live 6:30 as normal, and then Wednesday 6:30 as normal, and then I'll be back on the Sunday at 3 o'clock, probably with Rufus. I don't think he intends going down this coming week as well, but he'll be down in a couple of weeks. So there you are, everyone. Thanks, everyone. Hope you have a lovely few days. Remember, whatever you are doing in terms of your health journey, your weight loss, fitness, health, well-being, you can do it if you just stick to it. Okay, if you've had a weekend off, if you've had one too many ciders, an extra glass of Prosecco, one too many beers, or whether you hit that kebab shop at 3 a.m. in the morning, or you Uberette or DoorDashed, or whatever it is, whatever's happened, it's gone. Can't change it now. None of us have a DeLorean that actually goes back in time. All we can do is make the very next thing that we eat be as healthy and on plan as possible, and carry on going forward like that. So whatever it is you are doing, stick to it, and we will see you very, very soon. And as we always say, oh God, Rufus is here. Hello, Rufus. What time do you call this? It's bloody 13 minutes past 5. I've talked about ya. I've talked at length about ya, and now that's it. I'm literally just wrapping up. I like it when he says, hello, fans. You sound like Rolling Rat. I was literally just doing my closing, we'll see you next time, right on the very end. But yeah, I am going to go because I've been on for 2 hours and 15 minutes, Rufus. So, but thanks for popping in, my love. If you haven't already, and you want to have 2 hours of catch up with a little bit of Lego talk, a little bit of randomness and everything else, then do please go back and watch this one. And as I say, I will see you again very, very soon. And as we both always say, be happy, be healthy, be authentic, and we'll see you next time. I taught you to be fashionably late. How very dare you. See you next time, everyone. Bye.